So, good morning. I'm Janice, and I'm teaching a yoga class today that's focusing on joint mobility. And so there will be some yoga and some other kinds of movements. And in particular, I'm going to work a little bit on knees. I have very bad knees, and a lot of people have difficult knees for various reasons. So, but I'll also focus on other parts of our body. So welcome. And the general theme today is going to be finding joy, because we need it. We need to find joy. So that's just the general theme. And I've been thinking a lot about acceptance and resistance, and realizing that I resist a lot rather than accept too much. And I'm going to work on accepting more and transforming more and resisting less. Anyway, so I'm just standing at the back of my mat, and I'm just stretching up as far as I can. And I'm just going to lift one shoulder up and then the other, and one shoulder up and then the other, and one shoulder up and then the other, and one shoulder up and then the other. And then I'm going to press into the palms of my hands and extend my arms out and down. And then I'm going to lift up, and I'm going to, the other way, I'm going to draw my fingers straight towards my wrists as though they could touch my forearms, which they can't. And I'm going to lift them up. And then I'm pushing out with my palms of my hands. And then I'm pushing my outer wrists up with my arms straight, and I'm lifting them up. And then I'm doing the same thing again. So this is helping our wrists that tend to get, when we're doing too many vinyasas, they can get a bit overworked. Or just doing our keyboarding or whatever it is we do with our wrists. So we're just moving up. So, and this is, I'm really grounding myself with my feet here. So I should say, let's just stand in Tadasana for a moment. We can shake our wrists out of it and feel a general sense of centeredness here. So I'm moving forward, and then I'm moving back, forward and back, and then I'm finding this central space, and I'm just allowing my shoulders to fall down my back, and I'm feeling my collarbone lifting up. I'm feeling my ribs dropping down. My chin is going back slightly, and I can feel I'm aligned a little bit differently. And we tend to walk sometimes with our chin out. We tend to sometimes raise our ribs, and we tend to slouch. So keep your collarbone up, your ribs down, your chin in, and you can feel a centeredness here. And I'm just going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. And now I'm going to just drop my my right arm down my body, and then I'm going to fold myself over and drop my other arm down, go across, and come up again. And then I'm going to drop down that side again, the other side again. And we're going to just go round and around for a minute here. Just feeling the ease when we move over. We've got straight legs. We're grounding with our feet. And here, we'll just suspend ourselves here for a moment, allowing ourselves to really give in to what it means to release. If you want to, you can, you certainly don't have to have straight legs. You can have bent legs, and you can, in fact, wiggle out here. If this is too much for you, you could be standing on a block with your hands or you could put your hands gently on your legs if it's too much. But it should be you could also hook your arms and your elbows and just let your head hang suspended here. And we'll just breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. If you're particularly agitated, you can slow your breath down a little by exhaling a little bit longer than your inhalation. So we can inhale here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're just going to let our hands hang, and we're going to turn our body slightly and rise up on your left side and find your center again. Good. So we're going to just lift our arms up and then push our hands away. And once again, lift our arms up and push our hands away. And then we're going to stand in a comfortable position. You don't have to have your legs together, and bend one knee and then the other, and just swirl around, moving, opening your shoulders up, allowing your body to release. And if you want to, you can take a wider stance and you can move into one of your legs and one of your knees and then the other. This is just a movement to get us lubricated a bit and moving. Good. And now I think I'm just going to do some hip circles here. Circling your hip one way, circling your hip another, moving your hip around just to keep yourself alive and lively. And then the other way. Good. All right. So let's, I'm going to hold on because I have very bad balance, but you can do it in the center of the room if you like. So I'm just going to stand here and lift my right knee up. And then I'm going to lift my foot out. So it's internal rotation here. And then I'm going to externally rotate my leg. And then I'm going to send it back. And then I'm lifting it up again. And then I'm going to internally rotate, externally rotate, and then knee up at the front. So it's, and then down. Good. So let's try. I'll try it on one foot here. So I'm lifting the knee up, and then I'm internally rotating the knee, and then I'm externally rotating the knee, and then I'm going to extend the leg back. And then I'm externally rotating the knee, internally rotating the knee, and bringing the knee up, and then putting it down. Good. We'll do it 3 more times on this side. So so lift it up, internally rotate the knee, externally rotate the knee, and then extend it back, and then externally rotate the knee, internally rotate the knee, and lift it up, and then down. And one more time, lifting up, and then I'm internally rotating the knee, externally rotating the knee, and extending it back. And then I am externally rotating the knee, internally rotating the knee, lifting it up and down. All right, and then one last time. Lift it up, internally rotating the knee, externally rotating the knee, extending it back, internally rotating the knee, externally rotating the knee, and lift it up and down. Good. All right, and then you can just shift your hips a bit. So this is a very good movement for your hips and for your knees. All right, so I'll just stand over here, and I'm just going to lift my left knee up. And then I'm going to, let's do it a bit differently. We're going to externally rotate it, and then we're going to internally rotate it, and then we're going to extend it back, and then we're going to externally rotate, internally rotate, and then lift it up. Okay, internally rotate, externally rotate, and extend it back, internally rotate, externally rotate, and lift it up and then down. And we'll do it a few more times. So up, internally rotate, externally rotate, and then extend it back, and then externally rotate, internally rotate, and lift it up. All right, internally rotate. Really feel that foot coming out to the side. You should be straight at the front, and then externally rotate and extend it back. Externally rotate, internally rotate, and lift it up. And one last time, internally rotate, externally rotate, and extend it back. Internally rotate, externally rotate, and lift it up and down. Okay, good. All right, so let's just wiggle our hips a bit, do a few hip circles, giving us a little release. And we can also after we're doing this, we can just go down onto the ground for a minute and do a few movements that I'm just going to come back into child's pose just to give my hips a little bit of a release and stretch my hands out and really feel your shoulders releasing here. And I want us to imagine ourselves that we're putting our hands onto sand on a beach. So we're really planting them, and we're feeling the tops of our toes and all of the tops of our toes, even of our baby toe, pressing into the ground. You can even sort of spread your toes out while they're on the ground a little if you can. And we're just stretching here. We're going to walk over to your left and stretch out here, give our shoulders a little stretch. And then we're going to walk back again and stretch over the other direction. And really feel that lovely stretch on your open side. And your breathing is filling up your side body. We're inhaling here and we're exhaling. And now we're coming back. And we're just going to stretch out one more time. And then we're coming up onto our hands and knees. And here we are just going to stretch your left arm up. And then underneath, we're going to do these lovely shoulder opening movements as a counterpoint to our hip work. And then we're going to stretch up. And then we're going to come down and really feel that opening in our shoulder. And then the last time we're coming up, and this time we're going to leave our shoulder on the ground, and our palm can be up, and we can take the other hand and put the flat of the back on our sacrum, if it's in you. If not, you can use that hand as a balance, but you want to really feel the opening in your shoulder here. And if you're really involved in this and feel comfortable, you can lift your opposite leg up and feel it stretching out. And it just gives it this is a little bit of a balance here. You need your hand on the ground, but it's quite a nice movement, and it opens up your front body a bit. And then I'm going to put that knee down, and I'm going to press into the ground and lift with my hand and lift that arm up and put it down. Okay, now I'm going to take the your right arm up and then underneath, stretching it out beautifully here, and then stretching your right arm up and stretching it out beautifully. Stretch your right arm up and stretching it out beautifully. Stretching it out up and stretching it out beautifully. This time we're down here and we're just going to stay. Once again, you can put the back of your hand on the small of your back and just breathe here. Feel the open side of your body. Feel the air coming into your side body. In this case, it's your right arm that's extended, and your right arm is a bit compressed. Right side is a bit compressed, so it's your left ribs that are opening, expanding like an accordion. And we're inhaling and exhaling here as we allow the pose to open our shoulder. And now I'm going to push into the mat and just come up, back onto all fours. Good. And we can, in fact, just move our hips around, back, and then forward, and then back, and then forward, and then back. And then we can just wiggle our ribs, draw circles with our ribs here, really feel the movement of our core. And when we think about our core, it is every part of our body except our head and our arms and our legs. That's the core. So when we're thinking about moving the core, we've got a lot of body to move, our entire torso here. Okay, good. All right, so I'm just going to ask you to get a couple of blocks and put them on the ground. And this is quite hard, doing these exercises that I should be doing. My blocks are in the car because I was teaching, so I have one purple one and one that's eaten by my dog. But here we go. So you I want you to come down in a seated position. And I think I'll just open this up because I think it's hard for you to see my legs on this black mat. So there we go. This is probably better. Alrighty. Now, I'm just going to sit with these in front of me, and this is very hard. So we're just going to sit here, and I've got one, well, you can have, you basically have both of your legs out like this. And I'm sitting, I've got my arms if I need them. And I am just going to lift one leg up and move it over the blocks. Now I can really feel this in the front of my thigh. So I'm just going to pound it out a little because it gets cramped a bit. Okay, so here we go. So we're trying to, I'm going to try it like this with my arms crossed. So I'm lifting my left leg up and then over to the other side and then up again and then back and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5. Good, excellent. Now I'm leaning back. Ideally, you're sitting up. But anyway, I'm going for whatever I can do this morning. So this is good for your knee because your knee is in a vulnerable spot and it's got all kinds of potential problems. We have cartilage issues and who knows what, meniscus, all these different things. And so strengthening your thigh muscles, strengthening your calf muscles, making sure your toes and your ankles are mobile, making sure your hips are mobile. All of this helps your knees. You want to strengthen all around your knees and make yourself quite mobile, and all of this will help your knees. But this is a very good one for Katherine de Boda taught me some of these exercises, and she's a marvelous teacher. But she had knee surgery, so she's an expert on knees. Okay, so I'll move this out here. Here we go. We'll do 5 on this side too. Okay, this is a horrible thing. So you're on your right side. Here we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. Okay, now you're supposed to be sitting up. So I don't recommend coming back like that. In fact, it's probably not very good for the movement. All right, so we should do this every day. It's a good everyday movement. Now, let's see, what else is there to do? Okay, we'll go back here. Now, this is a very odd movement, I found, but a good movement, and I can't really do it properly. So I will just demonstrate. I'll demonstrate it, but I'll tell you that I'm not doing it properly. So I'm just coming down here and touching the ground, and I'm trying to touch my knee to the ground and keep this foot on the ground, and that's quite hard. Now that's just a demonstration of what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be keeping this foot on the ground and touching knee, but we're supposed to do this with our there, and then up again, and then one more time, and then up again. And this foot comes right up onto the tippy toes, so it's good for your toes. And then dipping your knee down and up again. So we're up on our tippy toes here on the one, and then down here, and then back up on our tippy toe, and then the heel down. So lift your hip up onto your tippy toe, drop your knee to the ground, and then up again. There you go. Up, and then down, and then up again. Okay, now we're going to just hang here for a moment, get our bearings, feel a little relaxation. I'm just allowing my knees to bend slightly, and I'm rocking myself a little. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm just going to try and keep this foot. So this would be your left foot. Keep it flat, and we're up on your right toes, and then we are dropping that knee down. There we go. Okay. And then up. And then lifting that up and dropping that knee down. And then lifting it up. And we're supposed to keep this ankle straight out on this foot flat on the ground. So here we go. I see, I can't do it on both sides. Okay, there we go. And then we're back up, and once again, we're lifting our toes up, front toes up here. And then we're dropping the leg down. And you can, of course, be on blocks here if you like. And then we are bending that knee and dropping it to the ground. Now, there's a harder version of this, which I cannot do, so I'm not going to, but maybe next time I'll work my way into it. All right, I'm still hanging here, feeling the effects of that knee work. And now we're going to just come up and stand and see how we feel. I'm standing on the ground, so I don't have the mushy mats. I'm having a little drink of. All right, there. So good. Now we're just going to work a little bit on squats. I'll move my drink, my no-name drink over here. It's actually cafe latte because I do it so early in the morning, but I don't recommend drinking cafe lattes and doing yoga, but I have some bad habits. All right, I'm just standing and I'm going to do some hand movements here, grabbing my thumb, stretching my fingers out, grabbing my thumb, stretching my fingers out, and maybe I'm fanning my elbows out as I do that. So I'm moving with my elbows and I'm really stretching my fingers out. Good. Here we go. Good. And now I'm going to flick them out all around my body. There we go. Good. And then I'm shaking them out. I'm bending my wrist in slightly with my hand. I'm bending my thumb in. I'm going to rotate it around a bit. I'm rotating my fingers around one at a time. And I'm bending them back, pushing into the fingers and the thumb. And I'll do that with the other side. I'll rotate my thumb a bit. I'll rotate each finger with just manually manipulating it. Now, if you have arthritis, you know what your limits are. That goes without saying. You are your own best teacher. And I'm pressing into my fingers again. Good. And now I'm going to just do my spider walk, memories of childhood, and then I'm spider walking down, spider walking out, spider walking back, spider walking up, spider walking out, spider walking back. There we go. Good. And then I'm shaking them out. Good. All right. So we're going to do just a little squat here. Now, you can just hold on to your mat if you need to, or we should be able to just have a little squat here. So I'm just going to have my hands on my hips here, and I'm just going to have my feet quite wide. My toes are pointed out at an angle, and I'm dropping down here. I'm just going to, so I might even try a goddess pose first, just to get myself moving in that direction. All right, so this is goddess pose. Here we go. Ooh, moving up and down. And even holding your arms here is quite good because it requires strength in your arms to hold your arms up like this. And I'm just seating myself, trying to keep my back straight, not moving forward, and trying to feel, you decide how far apart you want to go. Well, it's probably too much. And then moving up and straightening, moving up and straightening, moving up, straightening, and then moving out. Good. All right, stretching our arms out and down. And now we're just going to have a little squat here. So you decide what works for your knees and your ankles. So my knees are so wonky, it's quite a challenge to figure out for me how to do a squat. So I'm just going to come down and I'm going to lift my heels up and I'm just settling in here. Now you may have a much better squat. You might have your feet flat on the ground. You might have you're supposed to have your back upwards here. So we're pressing, I'm trying to press into my heels. I can hold on to the mat a bit here and get a little bit of help with my balance as I press into my heels. And I can use my elbows to push my legs out. And I'm trying to lift my collarbone up. And my thumb on my collarbone helps remind me of that. Now, this is not the best squat, but it's the best one I have going at the moment. So here it is. And I'm just balancing here. And this is a lovely hip opening movement. And it also, you can open the groin a little this way by pushing with your elbows. Yeah. And now I'm going to put my hands down And I'm just going to straighten my knees up and fall forward again and just hang suspended here. And here I am. Now I'm rolling right back up. Good. Now let's just do a couple of sun salutations just to see how our body is when we are lubricated and really ready for movement. I must say, I feel I could dance all night, but it's morning and I have things to do, so I cannot. All right, so I'm just opening up your arms, looking up, and then bending at the hips, falling forward as you exhale, and then lifting halfway, and then putting your hands down, your left knee back, and drop your knee down, and then you're going to come up and open your arms up, look up, and just breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, and then coming down, putting your hands on the ground, and then your foot back into a plank. And here we can stay for a moment. We'll strengthen our arms this way. You can gently bend your elbows and then come up if you like. You could do a push-up here, or you could just stay here. This as when you're pushing in with your hands and you are pushing back with your heels, it's a very strengthening, core strengthening position. And now I'm going to come down in chaturanga. You can come knees, chest, chin, or you can just come down however you might, as long as you don't injure yourself. So I'm just going to bend my elbows and come down and I'm coming up into an upward dog. You can come up into a cobra if you like, a smaller one. And then I'm going back into downward dog. And I'm breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now that I'm here, I should be doing it this way, I guess, to show you. Now that I'm here, I'm really making sure that my feet are far enough away. Sometimes I have too short a stance and I can't quite get my feet down here, but that's at my heels down here, but that's all right. I'm pressing into my heels and pressing into my hands. And I'm just breathing. We're taking about 5 breaths. So let's take 3 more now. So inhale and exhale. And it's a very active pose. You feel that you are lifting your sit bone up, and you are pressing into your heels, pressing into your hands, and you can open those shoulders. You can rotate those upper arms around while you're rotating the lower arms in the other direction. So the upper arms are externally rotating, the shoulders are externally rotating out, while the lower part of your arm is actually pressing especially into your thumb. So it's as though we can move our arm in 2 directions. The bottom half is moving inwards so that we're pressing into our thumbs as well as our palms. And then the upper part of our arm is rotating out. And this is the intensity of the downward dog. All right. Now we are going to you can lift your left leg up. And I'm standing on the tiptoes of my right foot just to give my toes a little bit of exercise here. And I'm rotating my ankle of my lifted leg just to give my joints some mobility. Then I'm lowering that lower leg, lower heel down, and I'm bringing the knee into my chest. And then I'm going to extend it back up. And then I'm bringing it back in and extending it back up and bringing it back in, extending it back up. And then I'm opening my knee up and I'm dropping my heel towards my glute. And here I'm pressing into both hands so that I'm not turning. I should be balanced in front. And now I'm going to lift that knee forward, drop the back knee, and I'm here with my left knee up, my right knee on the floor, and I'm lifting my arms up and opening them out and lifting them up and looking up and opening them out. Good. And now I'm going to put my hands on the ground and bring my back foot forward. I'm stuck in the wall here a bit, and to a forward fold. Very good. Now I'm going to lift all the way up and look up and then come down. Good. All right. I'll put my mat on the diagonal. It might be a little bit easier for everyone to see. There we go. Now, so here we are. We're going to bring your right leg back. So we're inhaling and looking up, and we're standing tall. We're just going to stand in Tadasana for a minute. Feel ourselves settling into our feet, grounding our feet again. Feel once again our collarbones up, our front ribs down, chin in a bit, slight pelvic tilt, just a tiny one. And then we're just letting our hands hang suspended. And we're inhaling and looking up, exhaling and falling forward here, tipping forward. And we're going to just feel that we can manipulate our knees here a bit, bend one, bend the other, and this really helps us extend a little bit in our hamstrings. And as I've said before, the movement when we're in the forward bend like this is to really feel every part of the back of our leg, the muscles engaging. And you can feel as though you have a P on the back of your knee, and you can try and press it back. This is, unless you hyperextend your knees in terms of your biological flexibility, this really shouldn't damage your knee at all. Just press the knees back and press your thighs back as well to open out your knees. All right, so here we are. Now we're going to put our hands on the ground, put your right knee back and land on your right knee, and then come up and look up and breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to put our hands down and draw that front leg back into a plank, and we'll just stay here for a moment, pressing into our palms and all of our fingers, including our thumbs. All right. And we can draw our belly in and press back in our heels. And our head should be in line with our spine. Good. Now you can come down knees, chest, chin, or I'm going to come down in chaturanga. And then I'm just going to move myself forward into, you can either be into a low cobra or into an upward dog. So you decide what you want to do. And now I'm going to just turn my toes under and go back into downward dog. And here, once again, I'm going to come up on my tippy toes. I'm going to press into my knees, bend my knees, give my toes a lovely stretch here. You can really feel that your toes are spread apart on the floor and that they are really stretching. And as we know, mobile toes are really a very important aspect of our balance and our mobility. And they're an indicator of whether or not you're going to fall. If you have stiff toes, you don't have good balance, and you are more likely to fall when you're an older person. And now I'm going to extend those heels back down, and I'm going to lift that right leg up, straight back, and I'm going to rotate
the ankle one way and then the other. And I'm going to lift up on my toes, on my left toes, and point my foot back. And then I'm going to bend that knee, lower that heel down, and really feel this stretch here. So your knee's bent, your heel is heading towards your glute here. Then I'm going to bring my knee into my chest, and I'm going to extend it back. I'm going to bring it in one more time and extend it back. And one more time and extend it back. And this time I'm going to bring it forward, and I'm going to drop the back knee down and lift up and look up and bring my hands once again to the floor, framing your front foot. Draw that back foot forward into a forward bend, and you can exhale here, and you can bend one knee and then the other, or you can just be suspended. And of course, you can have a block if you need to give you some support. And here we are, just lollygagging, I think the word would be, lollygagging in a forward bend. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling release. And once again, you should feel the energy moving up the back of your spine, of your legs, so that you're not overstretching those attachments at the top of your hamstring. And now we're going to come halfway up and inhale, a slight back bend, and then we're going to come down again. And then we're going to come all the way up and look up. Very good. All right. So we're going to move down onto our mat, and I'm extending both of my legs out, and I'm drawing in. I'll just extend them out for one, and we'll just be in Dandasana for a moment. If you like, you can have a strap, or you can have one of these stretchy things, whatever you like, and put them around your leg, your foot, and your toe pads here, the ball of your foot, and then you can draw yourself forward here. And we've done quite a bit of hip work, so this might be a little bit easier for you. And then I'm going to come down. And if you have a strap, just hold on to your strap. Only come down as much as you can. So if I want to come down with a straight back, I can really only come down about this much, which isn't very much. And now I'm going to fold over and just rest here. And I'm just feeling quite relaxed here, I have to say. Inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to roll myself up. I'm going to bring in my left foot into my inner thigh. And then I'm going to slightly turn towards that extended leg and draw myself down. And you can sit on something, just lift your hips up a little bit if you like, or you can lift the flesh of your buttock away as you're moving forward. And then I'm holding, if you were holding a strap, you could be holding, for both of the things like this. I'm going to hold the outer edge of my extended leg and use my elbow to draw me down a little bit here. So, and I'm extending out through my foot. So the stretch is on the full length of my leg, not just at the upper part of my hamstring. So I'm really pushing out with my heel here. And I am really feeling a lovely, lovely extension and a little bit of a twist. And now we're going to come up and we'll just exchange legs here, extend the other one out. And once again, that foot coming in. And once we can, of course, have a strap or some kind of a stretchy thing and just allow ourselves to go down. Now, I have, if you have problems with your knees, I find putting something behind my knee when I'm bending it up like this gives it a little bit of space and is very, very helpful. So I'll do that. And now I'm just turning towards that extended leg, pushing out through the heel and extending down. You might once again be holding a strap or both sides of your feet or your ankles and moving yourself down with your elbows. Or I'm going to use my opposite arm, a hand, to hold on to the outside of my ankle and draw myself down here. And just allow myself to feel gravity as part of my movement. And now I'm coming back up. Good. And I'm pushing my legs out here. I'm squiggling my toes. There we go. And I'm feeling, I feel very good now, actually. All right. So we're going to start winding down a bit here. We'll do one last movement that's helpful for our knees just before we go into final relaxation. I'm just on my knees and I'm up and I'm just going to put my arms out and draw back. And then I'm going to draw forward. Now I get a lot of cramps in my legs. So you have to manage that. But anyway, this is very good for developing, strengthening the areas around your knees, etc. So we'll do 2 more of these. And you can hold them, of course, for an extended period of time. And you can go back as far as you can. Okay, enough of that. My legs are cramping terribly. So that was a bit truncated, but you get the drift. You can do that on your own. And I'm going to move back. I'm going to do one twist. Well, I won't bother. I'll do the twist on the floor. So I'm just going back onto my back, and I have my legs up here. And one of the things you can do is you can move your legs in towards your glutes as much as you can, and then press into your feet and then drop your legs down. And you can open up the front of that thigh. So, and then move the other way and open out the front of that thigh and then move the other way. There. Okay. Feeling quite good, that opening and that little twist. And then we're going to put it would be your left ankle, and you can put it right in. There's a little hole right near the top of your knee. You can just put your ankle bone there and put your leg into a figure 4 and lift up that leg and hold on to your to your thigh or the front of your shin and draw those legs back. And you can stretch out through your heel here, both heels if you like. And draw in. You can use your elbow to extend that knee out if you like. Open that knee out. And then I'm going to put that foot down
I'm going to put both feet down and bend that other knee over, hooking your ankle into that little hollow in your knee, lifting your legs up, and using your elbow. You can use your elbow here just to draw that bent knee back. And you can hold on to this, your shin, or whatever you can, and pressing into the heels. And if you like, you can drop your legs over to the side. This gives you a nice twist, and plant that foot on the floor, which is a nice twist here. You can, with your legs extended out, looking in the opposite direction, and just resting here for a moment. And now we're going to roll back, and we'll put both those feet down, and I'll try that movement over on the other side. So lift once again, your left foot up, ankle into your hollow of your knee, and then you can drop that leg over to the side, planting that bent leg, the foot, into the ground. And this gives you a very nice twist, and look out towards the opposite direction. And then back again. Good. Now we can just bend our knees, bring them into our body, hold on to the outer edge of your feet, extend the soles of your feet up into the ceiling, and really give yourself a little shake here, giving yourself a little, just shaking out any tension you may have in your body. And then you can drop your feet to the ground again, extend them out into final relaxation. You might want to put your legs up the wall. There are many other movements we could have done. We didn't do many back bends, so that's another class. We can work on some back bends. But if you feel like it, you could do a bridge after this class and open up your back. Now I'm just resting here. My whole body feels as though it has moved beautifully for about an hour, and I can allow it to settle into the ground. And you keep on breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling every part of your body sinking into a grassy meadow. There are a few birds in the trees chirping. Everything is green, greener than green. Green, green, green as it can be. And this is a book of Taoist meditations. And this is one that I like. It's just a very short few lines. We're living in quite demanding times. Wall of flames, bridge of tears, snowflake on newly forged links. Wall of flames, bridge of tears, snowflake on newly forged links. And I'll invite you to roll over onto your side and in your own time, push yourself up into a seated position. So I'm delighted to share some time with you. The teacher in me salutes and honors the teacher in you, and the student in me honors the student in you. Deep bows. Thank you, and I hope you'll join me next week.